Hi, my name is Bennett, and my project proposal is entitled Defeating Disabilities, the UC Special Olympics. The project goals, there's three main goals. One is to raise awareness for children and adults with a disability. Two is to make those said individuals feel more included into their society because oftentimes they're excluded because of their disability. And three, to bring the community together to create a more respectful and understanding environment, one that understands disabilities better. The project mission statement is to create an understanding and loving community that raises awareness for disabilities. How does that tie into the university's mission statement? Well, productive work will be accomplished by having the students work with those with a disability and with those who volunteer out of the community. Enlightened living will be accomplished by having the individuals work it and learn about disabilities. So they also create a respectful environment, but they also learn more about disabilities. And community involvement, we're going to bring in the community and have our volunteers and their volunteers work together to have the event. The LLOs, citizenship will be accomplished by working with the community. The students will be able to reach out and help. Communication, these people with a disability are either verbal or nonverbal. Depending on the severity of their disability, they could be completely nonverbal. So the students are going to have to know how to verbally communicate with them and also how to read facial expressions and emotions for the nonverbal individuals. Creativity can be accomplished by, one, creating the event and bringing in ideas, and also creating banners, signs, and t-shirts. Critical thinking would be overseeing the ultimate goal, which is raise awareness for disabilities. You have to think outside of the box. You have to have innovative ideas as to how are we going to raise awareness. Ethical practice, you're going to be working with those with a disability. So you have to respect them. They're no less than you are. So you have to be respectful. You have to be ethical about everything. Inquiry, you have to oversee donations that we might receive, which would be the math part of it. And the science aspect of it would be you create new concepts based on previous knowledge. Perhaps you planned an event or you volunteered somewhere else. That knowledge is going to be helpful. So the project plan for December and January, volunteers and advisors will create signs to hang around campus to get the word out for saying, hey, we need volunteers and hey, we could use your help. And we also would contact the Special Olympics of West Virginia. Food and drink, contact Mr. Argento about the dining services who could help us with that. Game crew would create ideas for games, and you can look on the Special Olympics website for that. And they could also evaluate what rooms, where are we going to have the games? Do they want it in the ballroom or the riverbank? Just wherever they feel like they need the space for. And the art crew will start by brainstorming ideas. They'll contact Student Life in the art department for help because they're very organized with that. Student Life has organized events before and they know how to do that. And we'll also need to gain permission to use the Special Olympics logo. So in February, after a break, we'll come back and we'll collaborate and say of any issues, voice any opinions, how we can improve. But then we'll also go to the schools and pick what special needs programs are we going to use. And if they would like to participate, hand out permission forms, including shirt size, and if they're allowed to have their pictures taken, because sometimes those said individuals cannot have their pictures taken. Food and drink will meet with Mr. Argento on progress. Game crew will figure out what supplies need, use supplies from previous events like SOAR and Scholarship Day, and the art crew will continue working on their projects. Volunteers in May will teach the volunteers. They'll register online, go back to the schools and get the permission forms that they handed out. Food and drink will be working with dining services to get things done. Game crew will create an itinerary for the games. And based on the permission forms, we'll create color-coded groups, and each group will have its members, and the art crew will finish up their banners and signs. On the day of, Volunteers will create a sign-in sheet. Food and drink will double check with dining services to make sure everything's going smoothly. Game crew will set the games up, run through the games, and be sure to take attendance before each game. And the art crew will be hanging up their signs and putting the shirts out. And when everyone else is done, they will also help the game crew. So our resources. Student Life is very organized. They've had events before. They know what they're doing. They could give us tips. They could help us. Campus-based organizations could be used as volunteers. It would be great to have a campus-wide volunteer movement so we could, as a campus, become closer, but also as a community, we would help them. Dining services will help with food and drink. The West Virginia Special Olympics, this is what they do. This is their organization. Very familiar with it. So they could give us tips, they could help us if we need it, and of course the participating schools that will be coming to campus for the Special Olympics. Possible constraints. The West Virginia Special Olympics is quite busy. They are a statewide function and sometimes they just don't have the time. So dining services could not be available. There could be another event that they're catering. It could be that they are doing something else with the kitchen. Weather is a big one. We never know the weather. And then the space, whether the riverbank is available or the ballroom or any other room that the game crew decides. So these individuals have an intellectual disability, which according to the American Association on Intellectual and Development Disabilities is a disability characterized by significant limitations in both intellectual functioning and adaptive behavior. The Special Olympics' goal is to bring all persons who are mentally challenged into larger society under conditions whereby they are accepted, which is what we're trying to do as well. The two big ones are Down syndrome and autism. Down syndrome affects approximately 6,000 each year. According to the National Down Syndrome Society, autism affects 1 in 68 children, according to Autism Speaks, and those children will have issues with social interaction and they'll want to be repetitive, according to Autism Speaks as well. So our goal is to raise awareness and to bring the Special Olympics to the UC campus, and I hope you'll help me do that. Thank you.